You're walking back to your desk after a meeting. It's 3:17 in the afternoon. The conversation has already moved on, people are laughing about something else, and yet your mind is still stuck on one sentence you said. It wasn't dramatic. No one reacted badly. But now it keeps echoing. Did that sound awkward? Did I talk too long? Nothing actually went wrong. So why does it feel like something did? What you might be experiencing is post-action doubt. It's that quiet moment after you've already spoken, already acted, already sent the message, and your mind starts reviewing it like a security camera looking for mistakes. In this video, I want to slow that moment down and look at why it happens, what it's trying to do, and one or two small ways you can steady yourself when it shows up. Post-action doubt is when your mind doesn't fully accept what you've already done, so it keeps checking, replaying, and questioning it, long after the moment has passed. One common reason is that somewhere along the way, you learned that mistakes carry weight. Not necessarily huge, dramatic consequences. Just enough correction, raised eyebrows, or subtle disappointment that your brain started scanning for errors before anyone else could point them out. Over time, being careful became a form of protection. So after you speak, your mind quickly runs a review. Was that safe? Was that smart? Did I miss something? It can show up in small places, like replaying a comment you made in a group chat, even though no one responded negatively. The doubt isn't about the sentence itself. It's about staying ahead of possible judgment. Sometimes, it comes from wanting to be understood clearly. If you've ever felt misunderstood in the past, even in small ways, your mind may have started working overtime to prevent that feeling again. You choose your words carefully. You think about tone. You try to anticipate how it will land. And after you speak, your brain keeps checking the emotional temperature of the room, even if everyone has already moved on. You might reread a text 3 times, not because it's wrong, but because you're trying to feel certain about how it will be received. The doubt lingers because clarity feels connected to safety. Over time, another layer shows up when your standards quietly rise higher than what's human. You expect yourself to say things smoothly, to respond quickly, to sound thoughtful but not rehearsed. And when reality feels slightly messier than that ideal, your mind flags it. You remember the pause before you answered. You remember the word you wish you had swapped out. In other cases, it grows out of comparing your inside to everyone else's outside. Other people look relaxed, confident, steady. Meanwhile, you're aware of every small hesitation inside yourself. So even a normal conversation can feel like a performance you're grading afterward. It's late at night, around 11:40. You're sitting on the edge of your bed, the room quiet except for the hum of the fan. Earlier today, you shared an idea during a team call. It wasn't groundbreaking. Just something practical. People nodded. The meeting moved on. Now, hours later, you open your laptop again. You replay the call in your head. You remember the half-second pause before you spoke. You remember someone checking their phone while you were talking. Your chest feels slightly tight, like there's a detail you missed. You start thinking, maybe I rambled. Maybe I sounded unsure. Maybe they thought it was obvious. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what post-action doubt can look like when it's quiet. It doesn't shout. It just keeps asking for perfect reassurance in a moment that's already over. The hard part is that the reviewing can feel responsible. It can feel like you're being thoughtful, like you're improving. And sometimes reflection is useful. But post-action doubt isn't really about learning. It's about trying to erase uncertainty after the fact. And that's something no amount of replaying can fully accomplish. There's a small shift that can help in the moment. After you notice yourself replaying something, try asking a different question. Instead of "Did I mess up?" you might ask, "What actually happened?" Then answer it with 2 simple facts. For example, "No one interrupted me," or "The conversation continued normally." Keep it grounded. This works because your mind often fills in blanks with imagined reactions. When you bring it back to what you can actually observe, the story tends to shrink a little. The doubt may not disappear, but it can loosen its grip enough for you to move on with your evening. Another quiet practice is setting a gentle boundary around the review. You might tell yourself, "I'll think about this for 5 more minutes, and then I'm done for tonight." During those minutes, let the thoughts come without fighting them. Then, when the time ends, physically shift your attention, close the laptop, turn off the light, step into the shower. The boundary matters because without one, your mind treats the replay as unfinished business. With a limit, you're signaling that the moment has already passed. It's not urgent anymore. But there's something else here that often gets missed. Post-action doubt can look like insecurity on the surface, but underneath, it's usually a sign that you care. You care about how you show up. You care about how your words land. You care about not causing harm, not looking careless, not missing something important. The doubt is a protective habit built around that care. It just doesn't always know when to stop. When you start to see it that way, the feeling shifts slightly. Instead of fighting the doubt, you can recognize it as an old pattern trying to keep you safe. And sometimes that recognition alone softens the intensity. You might still replay the conversation, but with a little more distance. A little less urgency. This is for the person who looks fine after they speak, but keeps checking inside long after everyone else has moved on. Post-action doubt doesn't mean you ruined the moment. It often means your mind learned to scan for risk in small social spaces. That habit can feel heavy, but it's not proof that something is wrong with you. It's just a pattern that shows up when you care. And the next time you catch yourself replaying a sentence in the quiet of your room, you might pause and think, oh, this is that pattern again. Not to push it away. Just to name it. Sometimes that's enough for the echo to fade a little sooner.